Hey everybody, and welcome. So I want to make a information video about talking about the T-Mobile Hotspot. Now it doesn't really tell you what brand this is or who it's made from or jazz like that, but I think it's probably a Franklin LED version instead of an LCD, and it's pretty simple. You got WPS on the back, and then power button on the front, a USB-C port on the side, which is only supporting 5 volts at 2 amps of power output. They give you a 3000 mAh compatible little battery pack here, which theoretically this device can actually run off its own plug-in ability by using bypass charging, but you can't just boot the device with the battery out normally. You have to leave the battery in, boot up the device with the power plug in. Then once it starts booting up with all the LEDs showing, take out the battery, and there you go. You can run it without the battery. Simple. And inside of this, have the information, which I'm not going to show you, but the SIM card slot, I found very interesting. It almost looks like they planned for this to be juggled by clowns or something like that, because it has a little locking tab when it inserts the SIM card in here. I'm not joking. It has a little latch right here. It's hilarious. So they actually seem to expect that this is going to be juggled around by clowns like this. Woohoo! Woohoo! How's the internet going? Good? Ah, cool. I'll keep on having fun with juggling this piece of crap. I'll get to that in a second. But yeah. So you can power this when it doesn't have the battery, but you have to have the battery in just for a second for when it boots up. Now, the LEDs. So the battery indicator and the signal indicator have some different LED lights to them. The Wi-Fi icon and the data icon are just pure white. The Wi-Fi I don't think changes because that just shows that the Wi-Fi is transferring main from this, which you theoretically can actually turn off, but you can't have dual Wi-Fi on. So you can't have 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz running at the same time. You can only switch between the two. So pick one or the other. 5 gigahertz? Okay, cool. You're stuck on 5 gigahertz. But you do have to change both of the passwords once you switch between the two. So if you switch from 2.4 gigahertz to 5 gigahertz, even though you changed the 2.4 gigahertz password, now you have to change the 5 gigahertz password. And stuff like that. It's stupid. And super annoying. So, yeah, those are both whites. The SMS male indicator is also white, and it'll flash when it has a notification. This normally doesn't turn on unless you have a notification message that you can only see from the edition piece editing website for this. And you can't actually change anything or even connect to it until you basically have data coming through it. So it's redundant until you actually have the trial going through. So yeah, you can only configure it after you have the trial going for your hotspot. Stupid. Now, the battery icon will pulse green when it's charging. Not sure if it will pulse red when it's like at less than 0 to 15% or something like that, but I'm pretty sure it will turn red when it is about to show it's dying. I don't know if it'll turn yellow. I haven't tested that out yet. But this has 3 different colors on the signal ability for the bars. It doesn't just go, okay, got 5 bars, 4, 3. No. It has only 3 different LED coloration for the bars. Period. You have green, which gives you 5 to 4 bars. Yellow, which kind of has a greenish tint to it, so it kind of looks a little weird. And you're thinking it's green, but it's really not. You'll know a real green when you look at the battery icon. You'll see that's green. Okay, this doesn't look green. That's yellow. Yellow is 3 to 2 bars. And then red is basically 1 to 0 bars. So, you can also, hilariously enough, put the battery in backwards. What do I mean by that? So this is normally how it looks when it's put in correctly. This is how it looks when it's put in backwards. What does that mean? Is that the pins on here, this is normally where the pins are supposed to go. But when you put it backwards, this is where the pins go. So it doesn't touch with the contacts. So if you want to have the battery pack for the extra weight, with it still using the bypass charging ability to power up the device, you can do that. But anyways, I'm going to put this in the right way and then show you the boot up process of what it does. So when it does this, you can take out the battery immediately when it's plugged in. And then it will still actually charge. Because once it passes this, it won't show this icon for the battery. It'll start this. Actually, I think it will. I don't know. I forgot. But then it'll go through all the LEDs showing this and blah, blah, blah. And then boom. It'll take a moment for it to do that. And then you have all the other stuff booting up. You got the data transfer now. Then the signal will boot up. And that's it. So, nothing too fancy, crazy. And then to connect, if you have Wi-Fi protection linking service, you just push this, hold it down for a couple seconds until this blinks, and then go into your device, go through WPS protection connection, go like that, boom. Now, breakdown. This does have configuration to go to 5 gigahertz at 80 megahertz, or 80, megahertz. Something like that. You can change the channel thing. It also does supports 40 on 2.4 gigahertz. And you have B, G, N, or A, N, A, C, I think, for the 5 gigahertz. I haven't screwed that. But, yeah. It also does have cable tethering. So if you don't want the Wi-Fi on, you can turn that off and just have cable tethering. So if you have a laptop, you can plug in to keep charging and also have it cable tether. Basically the same thing as you do with your phone if you have a USB to USB such forth. You can basically use the USB cable tethering functionality on your phone, have the data transfer into your computer, and also keep your device charged. So same thing on this, which is nice. The interesting thing, though, here's where it starts getting bad. Massively. The network selection on this is automatic 4G only or 3G only. Nothing else. Even though it theoretically says it has 4G LTE, there's no option for 4G LTE. It just says 4G, automatic, or 3G. And when you put it on 3G, it doesn't do anything unless you have 3G for T-Mobile's towers, which I think they're phasing out, so they really don't have those. So, yeah, 4G connects. But is it really 4G? Or, 4G LTE. That's the thing. Is it really LTE, or is it just 4G that you're connected to? Not to mention, I think I heard around that this only works on 650 megahertz. Now, what does that mean? Well, basically, let me talk about your router in your house. You have 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz bands. 2.4 gigahertz has a great range, but not very great amount of data throughput. Plus, it also interferes with your devices, like your computer, your keyboard, Bluetooth devices, blah, 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 because they all work on 2.4 gigahertz. So everything interferes, everything has traffic and jazz like that. And the data amount is not open largely. So you don't have much ability to throw in and push out data. 5 gigahertz, on the other hand, completely reverses that effect. You have less amount of interference, you have less amount of problems, and you have better data throughput because instead of being this small, it's like this. So it's a huge amount of door opening. But there's a caveat to it. It has over half the range of 2.4 gigahertz. So in range technology, 2.4 gigahertz wins, but 5 gigahertz is way less, but has much more data throughput to be able to do stuff. That's what the difference is also for the carrier's network bands. They have the low band system for 5G, which is their far extension range system, so it has a broader range ability, but not very great amount of data throughput. Mid-band, on the other hand, or C-band, as the other companies are now coming out with, is going to be reduced over by half because it's like 2.4 to 5 gigahertz difference, but it's going to open a huge amount of doorway for a lot more traffic to go in and out. So that's why mid-band is going to be the key point for a lot of cities, because it's going to have a massive amount of traffic to be able to flow through it compared to low band. And then for Verizon and so forth, for millimeter wave, that is even reduced even by more, because they're going up to like 63 gigahertz. That has a huge amount of doorway for amount of data in and out. But the range is very small. Very, 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 very small. That's why they need a lot of towers around the roads because of such forth. Plus, the other key difference is this. Obstacles. The objects of absorption of radio waves is absorbed a lot when you go in the higher gigahertz range. So 5 gigahertz doesn't have the ability to travel farther through more objects as 2.4 gigahertz does. The same thing with low band to medium band, and same thing with medium to millimeter wave or high band. So the millimeter wave cannot go in through stuff, and the performance gets a lot weaker when it goes through an object because it can't go through penetration as great. So if you're in your car looking at the tower, that object of the window and the metal of the interior get absorbed by the radio waves, and it just depletes all the stuff. So you literally have to stand outside with your phone like this, going boop, 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 for it to transmit better. Physically, basically, line of sight transmitting ability. Now, 650 megahertz is long range, but again, what I just said, their long range ability of T-Mobile's 650 megahertz is nice, but this is their data transmitting ability. It's very narrow. There's not a lot of data flow to it. So you don't have a lot of speed and performance and oomph. Not to mention, like I just said, it doesn't seem this has even LTE. Not to mention, this doesn't have 5G either. And if you're on 650 megahertz, yeah, not very great speed. Not to mention, again, I think you're deprioritized on this thing by far because the speeds are even worse. So if there's like people in the daytime working about and you're going to notice a lot less speed. Like during the day, like when people wake up and go all the way to, dinner time, maybe, I don't know, 8 o'clock or something, don't expect more than like 5 to maybe 20 megabytes per second. If you got a lot of people going around on the same system. But during the night, like midnight, when everybody's like dead asleep, that's when you can peak time. You can get pretty decent speeds, around 40 to maybe 60. But yeah, the upload speeds are like, don't plan on doing YouTube or anything like that for uploading, because you're going to get less than like double the, like quad the amount of dial-up for upload. maybe at like probably 5 megabytes per second upload for when you're in the nighttime, nobody's on. Yeah, okay, it'll be decent, maybe 2, but everything is just complete junk on this. And it's actually kind of hilarious because on the box that you get this for, it says, "Put us to the test. Try our fastest network." How? How? And everybody's information, can I put the SD card in my phone to actually get the better performance? No, you can't. So you're stuck with this. So, in simple terms, T-Mobile's basically screwing everybody when they test this device. But iPhone users, man, you guys, it's like T-Mobile and iPhone users are just like, "Oh yeah, hey, you got an iPhone. Awesome, bro. Test out 5G performance and our fastest network ever. I mean, phew, you guys get like 300, 700 megabytes per second. Yeah. Our great network on 4G LTE. Oh yeah, it's freaking awesome. Yeah. Fist bump. But when it comes to Android, T-Mobile's basically saying, oh, it's an Android user. He wants to test our network. Oh, okay, here. Here you go. You can test our network with this piece of crap. Well, sucks to be you. You're on an Android. Stupid losers. Get yourself an iPhone. Android sucks. iPhone user. Pretty much. Right there. Because, yeah, it's stupid. And you're probably all saying, oh, well, it's probably different performance on your range, and, that, and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to get into the details, because, sector-wise and whatnot, but no. Out here, is not affected here. Especially if their range system is, the farthest range. I'm less than half far range from their freaking tower and still getting poor speeds. And even putting this next to my window again for better performance because less objects to travel through. But yeah, no, still total crap. This light for the signal strength just goes like this. It's like, huh? I got 4 bars. Oh wait, no, I got 2. Played it. Oh wait, I got 4 again. Oh wait, it's 3. Oh wait, got 4 again. Oh nope, got 2 again. Gotcha, loser. No, it's total crap. And again, like I said, on network switching mode, I don't think it even has LTE. So I think you're just stuck on 4G. Not even LTE or LTE Advanced, anything like that. You're just stuck on pure crap 4G. It's like, ooh. It's like, man, massive letdown. Baloney. So, yeah, this is complete crap. I mean, it's literally junk. If you really want to expect to put the network to the test the fastest ability from, what they're advising to do. Yeah, basically, iPhone users got the high end up. And Android and, locked iPhone users are basically throwing the brick out. Because this is basically a paperweight. I mean, the only thing you can technically do is surf the web at very slow speeds and maybe watch standard definition at like 360p or 240p YouTube or some, like Netflix ability like that at standard definition, very crappy quality on your phone, or maybe at the very maybe-ish HD. Not full HD, not 4K HD. But yeah, it's bad. But hey, 30 gigabytes to screw around. Yeah, that's pretty much all you get to really do on this device for an Android user or a laptop user or something like that. But iPhone people that get that ability, yeah, they can do that. But I also find that even spits in people's faces even harder is that you would think that, okay, well, I don't want to use this crappy device and I'll just take the SIM and put it in my phone, right? Well, no, it's locked to this. So you can't put it in your phone. I mean, it's not physically, the SIM card's not physically locked in the actual case and you can't just like rip it out and put it in your device. No, it's coded locked. So it's literally coded to this device only. Period. You can't put it in your other devices because it won't work, period. So, yeah, again, they're just spitting in your face even more. Oh, Android users. Ugh. And here's what I even mean by even more, because for an iPhone user, they have the option to actually get a physical SIM shipped to them. Because they can use the eSIM or, get a SIM card for their iPhone. Because I think it has it on the option when you're setting up. Oh, you want get a SIM card shipped and something like that. Blah, blah, blah. Physical SIM. Because I think, yeah, you can do that with the other ones that don't have eSIM compatibility. Like the 12 and 13, I think, have eSIM compatibility. But the other ones probably don't. So you can get a physical SIM. But this? Screw you. Like, wow. So they get the bonus of everything, but we get the paperweight. Amazing. So we can't test the network of put your network to the test and try out the high-speed performance or anything like that. Can't see how fast it is. Everything. It's just like, wow. I don't know if anybody done a teardown of this, but probably did. If not, I'll probably tear this down and show you a picture or another video of what's inside this. But it probably has just one crappy cable for both the Wi-Fi and the cellular antenna. Because again, like I said before, the antenna for the Wi-Fi is only able to do one or the other. So you can't use 5 gigahertz and 2.4 at the same time. That's stupid. So anyways, that's it. I'll see you guys later, and that's that. I mean, unless they give like better things than this, that actually is like their MiFi 5G, where sure it's like $300, but I mean if they give somebody like that for to be able to test their network and actually use the actual performance, sure, I would go with that. But to test it with this, don't expect anything. Period. Flat out downwards. Period. Don't expect anything. If you want to just screw with network for their 30 gigabytes worth of data throughput, yeah, go ahead, surf around network for quite a long time for that. But gaming, everything else that you plan on predicting to do, don't expect anything. Period. Watching videos, lowest quality ever. Yeah. Unless you're at a OWL nighttime person when you have like 40 megabytes per second, sure, go with that. But anything else, yeah, trash can. Would I give it to a friend to try out? No. I would actually take my bow and arrow, my recurve, and shoot an arrow through this more than I would give it to another person. Because it'd be more worthwhile for them to use the test drive ability on iPhone than be horrified of testing on an Android or a computer with this. By far. I would just say completely flat out, no, don't go with it. If you're an iPhone user, flat out, no. Period. Zip. None. Nothing. Unless they gave a better device that has 5G compatibility and all the better features, zip no. Period. I would rather put an arrow through this than give it to somebody else. Because it is total junk. Poof. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Peace out and have fun surfing. Because that's all you get to do with this thing.